This lecture is about important Pakistan study MCQs. Question number 1. In which year War of Independence was fought? 1857. Where Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental School was established? Aligarh. Who established Indian National Congress? A.O. Hume. When Congress was established? 1885. When Sir Said was born? 1817. When Sir Said died? 1898. When was Bengal participation? Bengal was divided into two parts during 1905. When the partition of Bengal was annulled? It was annulled during 1911. When did Quaid-e-Azam join Muslim League? 1913. When did First World War started? 1914. When did the First World War came to end in 1918? When did the Muslim League came into existence? 30 December 1906. Who was the first president of Muslim League? Sir Aga Khan. When did Shimla deputation call on Viceroy Lord Minto? 1906. When Minto Morley reforms were enforced? 1909. When was Lucknow Pact agreed? 1916. When Jallianwala Bagh incident occurred? 13 April 1919. When did Khilafat movement start? 1918. Who was Secretary of Khilafat deputation? Hassan Muhammad Hayat. Who was the editor of Comrade? Maulana Muhammad Ali Jauhar. Who was the editor of Hamdard? Muhammad Ali Jauhar. Who was the editor of Al-Hilal? Maulana Azad. Name the newspaper of Maulana Zafar Ali Khan. Zamindar. When Treaty of Sevres was signed? 20 August 1920. Who was Khalifa of Turkey? Sultan Abdul Majid. Non-cooperation movement was started during the day of Khilafat movement. Who was Prime Minister of England during the period of Khilafat movement? Lloyd George. Who issued fatwa in favor of Khilafat movement? Maulana Azad and Maulana Abdul Bari. Who announced the end of Khilafat movement? Gandhi. When Princes of Wales visited India? November 1921. When did tragedy of Chora Churi happen? 4 February 1922. When did Montego visit India? 10 November 1917. When did Montego-Chelmsford reforms were introduced in India? 1919. How many members were in Council of State in the Montego-Chelmsford reform? 60. When diarchy was introduced in Indian Act? 1919. When diarchy was introduced in the 8 provinces of India? February 1921. When diarchy was introduced in NWFP? 1932. How long diarchy remained in force in India? From 1921 to 1937. Rowlatt Act was enforced on 18 March 1919. When was the formation of Simon Commission announced? 8 November 1927. When Qaid-e-Azam said, "This is parting of ways," in all-party conference in Calcutta. When Qaid-e-Azam presented his 14-point on Muslim League Delhi session 1929. When did Allama Iqbal delivered his famous address in Allahabad? 30 December 1930. When Labour Party came in power in England? May 1929. When first roundtable conference was called in London? 12 November 1930. How many total delegates were in the first roundtable conference? 89. Who presided over the first roundtable conference? George V. When did second roundtable conference was called? 7 September 1931. When the third roundtable conference started? 17 November 1932. When Pune Pact was signed? 25 September 1932. Who were the signatories of Pune Pact? Ambedkar and Gandhi. How many seats were in 1937 election of Provincial Assembly? 1535 seats. What was the total number of representatives? 1771. How many seats were captured by Congress? 706. How many seats were in province of Muslim? 491. How many seats were captured by Muslim? 211. When Congress minister came to an end? 14 November 1939. When Day of Deliverance was solemnized? 22 December 1939. When Pakistan resolution was passed? 23 March 1940. When Cripps mission came into India? 23 March 1942. Quit India movement was started in 1942. When Nader Shah invaded on India? 1739. When the Battle of Plassey was fought? 1757. Sultan Tipu was defeated by the British in the year 1799. Hujjatul Baligha was written by Shah Waliullah. Who started Faraizi movement? Haji Shariatullah. Who wrote Asrar-us-Sanadid? Sir Sayyid Ahmad Khan wrote Asrar-us-Sanadid. When Sir Sayyid Ahmad Khan was designated as a member of Imperial Council? 1877. When Sir Sayyid was designated as member of Viceroy's Legislative Council? 1878. Who wrote Khutbah Ahmadiyya? Sir Sayyid Ahmad Khan. Who wrote Tibanul Quran? Sir Sayyid Ahmad Khan. Who started Tehzeebul Akhlaq? Sir Sayyid Ahmad Khan. MAU College was established in the year 1875. When Muhammadan Educational Conference was formed? 1866. When British Indian Association was formed? May 1866. When Indian National Congress was formed? 1885. Who formed Indian Patriotic Association? Sir Sayyid Ahmad Khan in 1888. Who was the founder of Muhammadan Defense Association? Sir Sayyid Ahmad Khan. Who was the founder of Indian National Congress? Ellen Octavian Hume. A.O. Hume. Who was the founder of Brahmos Samaj? Raja Ram Mohan Rai. Who was the founder of Paratna Samaj? Dr. Atama Ray Pandring. who was the founder of Div Samaj? Sitamant Agnihotri, who was the founder of Ramkrishan Mizya? Ramkrishan Parsad, who was the founder of Arya Samaj? Dyanand Saraswati. When Anjaman-e-Himayat-e-Islam was established? 24 September 1884. Who were the founder of Anjuman-e-Himayat-e-Islam? Khalifa Hamiduddin Muhammad Nazir Munshi Chirag Abdul Rahim. Who was the first president of Anjaman-e-Himayat-e-Islam? Khalifa Hamiduddin. When Islamia College Railway Road was established? 1907. When Islamia College for Girls Copper Road was established? 1939. When Hindi-Urdu controversy started? 1867. When Indian Council Acts was enforced? 1861 and 1892. When Bengal was partitioned? 1905. Who was the head of Shimla deputation? Sir Aga Khan. Majlis-e Khadam-e Kaaba was established in 1913. What was a Muslim Outlook? This was not the name of journal that was started by Khilafat deputation in London. When Treaty of Sevres was signed? 10 August 1920. Who was General Dairy? General Dairy ordered to shoot in Jallianwala Bagh. Who founded Cow Protection Society? Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Who wrote Bande Mataram? Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. Who founded Mahasabha? Madan Mohan Maluyar. Who was the chief protagonist in Shuddhi? Swami Sharad Nand. Who was the Bankim Chatterjee? He was the writer of Anand Nath a novel. Who is the writer of Toward Pakistan? Wahid Saman. Who is the writer of Emergence of Pakistan? Chaudhry Rahmat Ali. Who wrote the Struggle for Pakistan? I.H. Qureshi. Why Pirpur report was prepared? To investigate the tyrannies of Congress on Muslim. Why Shrup report was prepared? To investigate the cruelties on Congress in Bihar. Who wrote India Wins Freedom? Abdul Kalam Azad. When Muslim solemnized Day of Deliverance? 22 December 1939. Who wrote Verdict on India? B. Nicholson. Who published Tahzeeb? Abdul Halim Sharar. Who is the author of Foundation of Pakistan? Sharifuddin Pirzada. These are the most important faster MCQs generally asked in various type of test and examination. Subscribe my channel for such type of more lecture.